Hey, Jeremy Osterberger here with BIC Magazine. We're at the ABC Houston CMEF Workforce Development Breakfast. One of the panelists was Mitch Krutilek. Mitch is plant manager at Cedar Bayou for CP Chem. That's, of course, Chevron Phillips Chemical. Mitch, we thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to speak with you.
So, Mitch, let's talk about how we got into this workforce development shortages. What are the history of that in regards to the petrochemical industry?
Well, I think the key there over time in our industry hadn't been a lot of growth. And over time, the availability of craft labor has shrunk, and there hadn't been a lot of attraction for people to get into the craft labor industry. Now we've got this upsurge in projects and a big demand, so we've got a shortage of workers. And here over the last few years, we've had a big surge in projects, and a lot of these folks have had to be trained on the job. So now we should be in a little better shape with some of the skill as we go through man up for the second wave. But as an industry, we've been concerned, and industry leaders through ECMA, East Harris County Manufacturers Association, and working with our contractor partners on what we call Petrochem Works Workforce Steering Team. We've been working on a number of avenues for raising funding for training, working with colleges on funding, talking with schools to get young folks interested in craft labor jobs and opportunity, trying to build an attraction to our industry and to get people in the training pipeline early. Many in the high schools now have programs where you can get craft training at the high school level, potentially come out with a certification. So working through avenues of high schools, working through community colleges, working through veterans group to get people attracted to our industry is what we've been working on. And then coming up with some standard protocol and mechanisms for training and certification.
So Mitch, you mentioned Petrochem Works and petrochemworks.com. Can you tell us about that, your involvement and CP Chem's involvement with that initiative?
So Petrochem Works is it's a workforce steering team with 6 owner representatives and 5 contractor representatives. So we're working together on really to address the craft labor issue. We've got a number of best practices we're developing, a number of subcommittees. We're working on how do we improve onboarding? How do we get a construction worker from hire to on the job quicker? How do we improve training? And then another piece is how we provide funding for training.
So Mitch, let's get it to your site there at CP Chem Cedar Bayou. I know recently you put in that new ethane cracker. Can you talk about how the operations are going now and what other projects are going on there at Cedar Bayou?
Yeah, I think our ethane cracker was a big project, spanned a number of years from start to finish. A job like that's about 7 years. And last year we had a very successful commission startup, and the unit's operating very well.
That's great, Mitch. Well, and any future opportunities and for CP Chem as far as expansions here in the Gulf Coast?
Well, I think CP Chem, like all the companies, we're always looking at a number of opportunities, and as those become more and more developed and get fully approved, then they'll be announced publicly.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Mitch, for your time. We appreciate it, and thanks for joining BIC Magazine.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Great to see you.
All right.
And for more videos, visit bicmagazine.com.